Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, YouTube. Reseller Mom here with Tina, and it is a beautiful Friday here. What's the weather like with you, Tina?
It currently at 8 a.m. it is 54 degrees, but we've been getting in the high 60s by the afternoon. And as you know, I am traveling back east this Tuesday. So we've been looking at the weather there, and their highs out there in the afternoon is what it is right here in the morning. So I can tolerate the 50s. It's going to be the nighttime that will be hard for me. It's going to be like 38 degrees, I think. And that for me is really cold. I know for those of you that already live in snowy climates, that's nothing.
So, we have questions this morning to go through, but not a whole lot. We talked about shipping last week, so I don't really want to talk about shipping. I did a video on it yesterday showing the breakdown. It's just going to depend on what you're shipping in, but expect a little bit more. And most of us are just kind of factoring in an extra 50 cents per item and moving on with our day. So I don't want everybody to keep freaking out about the shipping stuff. It's just another cost that we are either going to have to incur or get out of the game and move on. There's not a
I'm
whole
guilty of that. I'm guilty of the talk of the shipping. And it's not because I have anxiety over it or, oh, it's all doom and gloom and my business is going to close down now because of it. But you know me, Finance Friday, I got to bring up finance about it, is I still want to be able to figure out what is the wisest, cheapest option of me for me moving forward, whether it be the extra 50 cents an item, 30 cents an item. And so because I'm trying to navigate it and, I always want to master everything, right? But that's all I have to say about it. So I just want to say that I've been guilty of talking about it because I'm trying to perfect the best option.
Well, I went in and showed kind of how it breaks down the 3 different shipments, and it does not default to the cheapest. And I still have my notes on my desk here, but in my example, it ranged from $93 all the way up to $146. So that's the range on this theoretical shipment that I did. So it can be quite different. So I'm just going to do my shipments this week in Amazon and kind of pick the cheapest one. But it does tell you like placement fees are going to be this and shipping fees are going to be that. So your total is X.
Right. So you're going to make your shipments in Amazon instead of Inventory Lab. Is that right?
I think so. I might try both and see if I get the right. That probably what I'll do is I'll create one in both and then see what is the cheapest.
Well, when I created it through Inventory Lab yesterday and it sends to Amazon, I don't get the choices. You don't get the options.
No, but does it default to the cheapest or does it default?
No, it defaults. Okay. I know you said you didn't want to talk about shipping, and here we are talking about it.
Yes, I know.
I can't help it. I cannot help
Make
it.
it quick, Tina.
I have to say this now. I can't help it. So when you elect your option within Amazon, whatever that option is what Inventory Lab takes. So if you elected for it to split it to multiple warehouses so you have no inventory placement fee, if you elect to have it all to one warehouse with the 3 different options, whichever one you choose is what Inventory Lab is going to do. So when you close out your batch in Inventory Lab and send it to Amazon, that's what you get. I thought maybe if I did like box contents off in Inventory Lab and did it like the real old school way to where it sends it to Amazon and you have to finish it there, it didn't matter. The light bulb went off like, duh, Tina, it's still allocated it the way I told Amazon that I wanted it to be. So you don't get options. So the only way you get those 3 options is if you create your shipment in Seller Central. The problem this poses is when you are an Inventory Lab user, you are entering your buy cost at the time of your shipment. There is no way to go back into Inventory Lab and enter in your buy cost after the fact and it just do that math for you. You have to do it sale by sale as you get the sales for those items. Can you adjust what you paid for it? I have never found a workaround.
Why would you do that? Because it's just going to show up as a different line item on your Inventory Lab.
If you can figure out a way to create it as shipment in Seller Central, go back into Inventory Lab and adjust your buy cost for the item, let me know. I've never been
Why
able
would
to
I
do
want
that.
to do that? Because Inventory Lab is going to pull that fees and pop it into the P&L
I'm
under
talking
fee.
about what you paid for the item. You bought butterscotch candy and
Oh,
you paid
gotcha.
$1.99 a bag, and
Yeah,
you
you
put in your $1.99 for the bag so you can get your true profit and loss for each item
yeah,
in
I've done that.
Inventory Lab. If you create your batch in Amazon, you're not going to be able to retroactively go in and put $1.99 in there for it to math it out for every butterscotch candy that you sold. With each
Yes,
sale,
yeah.
you have, okay, I've never been able to figure that out of all my years using Inventory Lab. So you must show me how.
All right.
Because I have listed many batches in Inventory Lab for merchant fulfilled batches, and I forgot to enter in a buy cost because I was in a hurry. Well, when you go back in that shipment and you open up your closed batch to edit it, to like try to put in a buy cost, it doesn't. It didn't ever fix it for those units. So every time I sold one of the butterscotch candies at Merchant Fulfilled, I always had to go into Inventory Lab one by one and enter in the buy cost. So if you or anyone else knows how to retroactively go back in there and fix that buy cost, give me the secret recipe, because I've never been able to figure that out. My other issue with creating the shipment in Amazon is also for your repricers. For those of you that have them, you're going to, because Inventory Lab generally uploads your buy cost from Inventory Lab to your repricer that you have integrated with Inventory Lab. You're going to have to go into your repricer and manually enter those in. That's not the end of the world to do that, but that's just the other problem it poses. So, okay, I'm done.
Are you done ranting?
I'm done.
Just a second, I opened up. I'm not going to. No, thank you. I don't go to any of the Inventory Lab seminars. I've been to them. They were absolutely a waste of my time. This one was on sourcing. You know what they're going to tell you? Buy low, sell high. That's the only thing they ever say. So if I want to adjust prices, I just go into Inventory FBA and then find my item and then cost per unit, just fix that. So that's all I do. Now, if you don't have it in your inventory in Inventory Lab, that might be a problem. If you're doing replens, that's really easy. If it's not in Inventory Lab, I don't know if it syncs or not, because it syncs with your inventory I want to say twice a day it syncs. I can't remember now off the top of my head how often Inventory Lab syncs up, but it should be in your FBA inventory. Just find your item and then go to the cost of goods and adjust. But it is not fun. It is not. This is a can of worms, everybody. Everybody knows it's a can of worms. Inventory Lab just got bought by 3Colts. They're going to integrate repricing into it, and they're waiting on some API feed issues to fix it to get over this hurdle. So it's not. We all know it's a problem, and it will get fixed because they're not going to have everybody upset for very long. Be Cool doesn't say my buy cost when I enter it in there. I don't know on Be Cool what. Be Cool pull, when I was using Be Cool, because I stopped at the beginning of this year, Be Cool would pull my price from Inventory Lab, and that was a sync option. They sync with like 3 different repricers, so I don't remember. I'm sorry. Be Cool syncs with a few things, or was it Inventory Lab syncs with things? Anyhow, I have to do it in Inventory. Yeah, it just depends on your settings. Like I had my source truth at Inventory Lab. Be Cool would pull the cost of goods and then reprice from that, and it would pull again like twice a day. I don't know. You could manually hit it. There was like a refresh button to go sync with Inventory Lab if you made changes. So try that if you have that set up. All right, we're not going to talk about shipping, Tina.
No, I told you I was done.
No, I'm just for those that are joining, like we don't have any other options, or we've said everything we're going to say about it here. We don't have any more. So I do have questions up on my board, but go ahead and list your questions here if you want us to discuss them. It is February. It's not February. It's freaking
It's
March.
already March the
God.
8th. March
Oh,
8th. And Sunday, or is it Saturday when the time changes?
yeah. Saturday
Saturdays.
night, Sunday morning, Saturday
Right.
night.
So this Sunday we have new time change. Clocks go forward. So gives us longer days, but it gives us feeling like we have less sleep in the morning because it's like we're getting up an hour later.
Yeah. All right. So we'll address your questions as they come in, and then I'll bounce between the other thing. I have a lot of listing questions today. What are the best practices for creating a listing and choosing an item name? Oh, I did a video on that yesterday, specifically that. So you can go watch that on my channel. But essentially, I went through Amazon's policies on doing a name. My go-to is you want to have your title include everything you can about the product. There's about, God, now I got to remember from yesterday. I want to say there's a 60 character maximum. So you've got 60 characters to work with. And if I were going to describe this coffee cup, it would be something like black coffee travel cup mug. I've always been told the first 5 words are the most important, but you want to have everything in there. And don't forget things like birthday gift or Mother's Day gift or something else. Don't just center around the mug. I see that a lot with people that hire me on Fiverr is they have a whatever coffee mug and all their keywords is just around coffee mug. And I'm like, well, would this be a good birthday gift or would this be targeted towards fathers for Father's Day? And they're like, oh yeah, it's totally that. Why isn't that in your title? You got to think a little bit outside of the box and include any of those things that it would be commonly searched for. If I were going to go look for my best friend Tina is a coffee lover and she loves black, I would be, like black coffee mug for birthday gift or something like that. And
Yeah, I always say think about what you would type if you were searching. Some of it comes down to just common sense. You know, as you're typing in Amazon to try to find an item that's similar to yours for inspiration, what are you typing in? Generally, those are already your best keywords, and you don't even need a paid search tool to tell you that.
Exactly. That's another thing I'll do is go over to Amazon, type in black coffee mug, and then see, what pops up. And then, okay, mine is metal. So now I want to maybe type in aluminum or metal black coffee mug and see what is built in the ones that are ranking high. If they're already ranking high, then those words are good words and you want to mimic that.
Is that a Yeti mug you're drinking from?
It is. And I don't know what my husband gets things for work, and I don't know what that is. It's probably some sort of software or something. But yeah, we like Yeti mugs. Not a Stanley Cup person. I'm a Yeti mug person. FOAB. Is there any benefit to having these certifications as a
seller?
For example, veterans owned, women owned, etc. I looked into that, and don't quote me because I didn't look into it recently. It was probably a year, maybe 2 years ago. To be classified as a woman-owned business, it was going to be a certificate that cost me about $250. And while it might be good, and if you have, maybe some classifications are better than others, but when I'm shopping, like, I don't care. I don't really look on Amazon. I don't really care who I'm buying it from as a customer. If I support a veteran, great. Is that going to play into my purchase factor? Maybe 1% worth. That if I had 2 identical things and I saw one was a veteran or one was a woman's own or something that I wanted to support, it might sway me a little bit. But I don't go looking for veteran-owned businesses.
I don't either. And I think we all get those emails from time to time. And I once in a while look at them as well. But I've never tried to get the certificate either.
Yeah, it was going to be, it wasn't a super lengthy process, and I'm pretty sure I could pass, but it was going to be a couple $100 to get that piece of paper. And where it could help you, though, is say you are a minority or a veteran or something, and there's other benefits out there to being a business owner with that certification in terms of loans, maybe lower APR loans or other discounts or tax incentives. That is where you're probably going to see more of a benefit than on Amazon. For Amazon particularly, I did not see any benefit to having that. But if I were going to then go open up a shop and they said, oh, well, we give loan discounts if you are a woman-owned business or Black or veteran or whatever the case may be, then that's what the value of spending that $250 would be.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you'd say it helps with the buy box algorithm.
Yes. Yeah. If that's the case,
does.
it would definitely be worth the fee to be registered.
I do not think it does, but if it does, it's like this much. What I do notice, though, is made in the USA, a little bit better. If I were going to say one is better than the other, made in the USA, I feel gets a lot more volume because people are searching for that. People are searching for made in the USA because they don't want to support the imports for, their thing. And that's where SEO plays into search with the algorithms. Women.
I will say I did do a quick search online while you were talking about it, and it just says it makes your products more likely to appear in searches. This is because customers can specify that they only want to see products from SBA approved businesses, or their preferences could be women or veteran owned businesses. And if you're searching on Amazon, you know how off on the side you can click the little bubbles for price range, things like that. There are bubble options to choose only seeing listings like that. But I kind of agree with Lucy. I have never once in all my time shopping on Amazon ever actually clicked the button to only buy from veteran or women owned. That's not to say that people don't, though. I just personally have not.
And I've never heard any data to back up that says, hey, I was doing it non-veteran and then I got my certification and my God, it helped my sales so much. I have never heard that for any of these ever. I had one lady that I worked with who was African American or Black. I don't know which one you say these days, but she was like, I got the Black owned company, women owned company one. And that's great because she's building out her brand to lots of other things. And she was like, I haven't seen anything. That's the one experience that I have, because I asked her specifically about it because it was interesting that she had gotten it and had paid the money, and her business was interesting in a general sense, but she had said that it really didn't do much for her on the Amazon platform.
And there's quite a few certificates that you can get on Amazon. I'll share my screen just because I knew there were a few, but I didn't realize that there were as many as there are. Hold on a second. Here we go. You see right here are all of the different options. And this is off to the side where when you're searching. So look how many that there are. These are all different certificates you could get or qualify for if you wanted to.
All right, Tina, I'm blind. Could you list off some?
Registered small business, women-owned business enterprise, women-owned small business, economically disadvantaged women-owned small business, veteran-owned, service-disabled veteran-owned, minority-owned, SBA certified, HubZone, SBA certified small disadvantaged, and LGBT business enterprise.
I don't even know what some of those. Aren't we all economically struggling? Isn't that a given? I don't know. I don't want to, and that's the thing. I don't know. So maybe there is valid to it. I would have to go investigate each of those, but I did not realize there were quite so many. I do know that I've worked with the certified organic, and that is something that you do need to have a certified letter, like it is a certification to put that on your product. So be careful if you are doing organic stuff. And then they just hammered down on bamboo. If you have any bamboo items, bamboo textiles, bamboo clothing, bamboo accessories in the kitchen, whatever, and you've used the word bamboo, and bamboo now has antibacterial properties, and it got flagged for the hazmat and cred. So I had to go fix any listings that had the word bamboo in them. Like, oh my God, I freaking hate bamboo right now. I crack you up. I try to be I love being politically correct, but I don't always know. And that's okay. We're here to learn, right? Not everybody knows, and that's okay. We're not born knowing either. All right, so I'm going to go through questions on the page here. I have two that are around unlocking Bath and Body Works, and I have not mastered that. I got re-locked down for Bath and Body Works. I have tried unlocking a few times, and I haven't looked at my last rejection letter to decipher it. So if you're in that boat, sorry. Same with Trader Joe's and IKEA. They are still locked down, and you need to get, for Trader Joe's and IKEA, you can get organically ungated, I think, still. So hit the apply button and see what happens. Crystal says, I'll apply and be whatever that makes me money.
Yeah.
Exactly. If I qualify, awesome. We'll definitely take it. When creating prices for bundles, should I use 97 or 99? Ooh, that's a good question. So I have opinions. One is, if you're going to do 97, 95, you're leaving 4 cents off of each one on the table. Like, really, you're not going to see anybody make more or less sales. So really, you're just leaving a nickel on the counter or 3 cents or whatever it is. So why not just stick with 99? You still get that customer purchase and you get the extra pennies. Those extra pennies could add up if you have some volume. Now, if you sell 10 a month, it's not that big of a deal. So don't worry about it too much. What I do like, though, is using those types of numbers for mental flags if I am working on inventory and velocity. So let's say that I have this coffee mug and I was selling it for $19.99 and it's kind of getting towards aged and I'm going to start paying some fees, and now I want to decrease my price and have a little sale. I might do my sale as $17.97 or 98 to denote that that's my first markdown, and then go to $16.96 and then $15.95. But using that placement as a business resource to know that it is on a sale or on a markdown, or it's a price decrease or increase that is flagging me for some sort of extra fees or something that is coming up.
And it's certainly a psychological thing, just as shoppers, when you see something that is 19, be it $19.89, 99 cents, 97, whatever, it perceives the value 19. You see the first number. So it doesn't really matter what the following numbers are, as long as it's closest to the next big number, which is what people are trying to do, because we perceive 19 to be cheaper than 20, even if it is 19.97. People are just always going to gravitate to that. That's why stores have done that forever. You see $2.99 as opposed to $3. You're psychologically going to grab the $2.99 one off the shelf.
Yes, but $2.97 versus $2.99 is.
I don't think that's so much of a big deal, the 97 versus 99. It's what it changes the first number to be. It's just a psychology thing.
Yeah. And that has been proven, that the 99 is definitely a notion. Same with, there's a pretty popular one about when they came out with the 1/3 pound burger versus the 1/4 pound. Everybody was thinking that the 1/4 pound was more because 4 is more than 3. And really, people are dumb. That's what it comes down to. They are, and that's okay. We're here to educate, support the education system. But that's the same psychology when you have different things, and they do this a lot in fast food again. If you have burgers, that's why, what was it? Wendy's created the either 3-patty burger or the 4-patty burger, because if you see that extra more gluttonous thing, you feel better about making the purchase that's right down below it. So they wanted to sell more.
And you should feel worse about it for the cholesterol, the fat that you're going to gain and eat. And who wants 4 patties on a burger?
I want to get the 2-patty one, but at least I'm not getting the 3-patty one, right? So it's psychologically. So when I'm creating bundles, sometimes I will do that as well, as you have more of an expensive one and you only send in a couple of that because you're trying to make the the one that's a little less, more appetizing to
Just
your
have the chicken.
It's
Just get
not
the
so
grilled
much to
chicken.
Amazon,
Just get the
but
grilled chicken.
yeah, I go when I'm looking at pack sizes though, I'm looking at what the customer's purchasing from. Like I'm working on one for weddings right now. I got to see usually birthday parties, I'll do packs of 6, 8 or 12, sometimes 16, 18. What's the best pack size for weddings? That's what I got to know. Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't know because I've never sold a lot of wedding items, but certainly weddings are larger. And even a small wedding is usually 50 to 75 people. I mean, that's a small wedding, aside from those that just elope, right?
We don't care about those. Those aren't buying on we care about people that are doing a big wedding and they want to buy that doodad on Amazon. What quantities are they buying?
Yeah, that would be interesting to look into. I'm not savvy with wedding merchandise.
Well, and same with the title. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over to Amazon and I'm going to be like wedding favor gifts
And you'll
and
see
what the
the
common
trending. Yeah.
see what the trending size is. You know, is it a pack size of 10 or 20 or 12 or whatever?
Yeah.
And then use whatever the most popular one is. And also price point. We were talking about that in a different scenario, but marginally, if you are selling things, and we'll go back to favors for weddings, and you're like, oh, I can't decide between a 5-pack or a 10-pack, your margins are going to be better at the 10-pack. So start off with the 10-pack just because you can have less fees and more play with it. Do you know, Tina, where to get compliance documents for DC comics like Batman action figures?
Well, if you are buying them just from Walmarts and Targets, there are a couple of websites that sometimes have them. I've never really gotten that lucky on them. It's been years since I've looked at the one. I know Walmart has it. I'm sure I have the link somewhere. It might even be in our Facebook group in the files. I don't remember. I've never really been that lucky. Do you recall that website? Because otherwise you're going to have to just get them from your wholesale distributor. They usually have them. That's when I've ever needed them. That's why I always got it from was my wholesale supplier where I bought the toys from. I've never had a problem not getting them. But for the retail arbitrage shoppers, it does make it harder. So I'm guessing you don't know that site. I'll see if I can find it.
I know that Lego has them online. So if you ever need work for Legos, you can just go pull them off their website.
Yeah.
I have used the internet and typed in and gotten some compliance paperwork. But typically for toys, a lot of toy sellers are not going to do them unless if they sell on Amazon and need them for Amazon to sell their products. So there's nothing in it for them to do it. Like Squishmallows, they don't care. They don't want people selling on Amazon. They don't care.
Yeah.
So you'll see Squishmallow listings go up and then they get hit with compliance and then everybody will sell off of them. So Squishmallows, there's nothing for Squishmallows that they want to do. It's about a $3,000 test. So I've heard that's what others have quoted me. And Squishmallow comes up with all sorts of different squishy things. They're not going to pay $3,000 for each one to get testing done so that we can sell them on Amazon. They don't care. They're not selling them on Amazon. So you kind of got to know the product and where it's going with that and what's behind it. So
yeah, and sometimes you could reach out to the manufacturer that's on the back of your product and ask them. I will say I did get compliance paperwork once from an item I got from Dollar Tree. It was some markers that I had in a bundle that I got from Dollar Tree. This was a few years back. You know how in Dollar Tree they sell the little kid markers that are like Mickey Mouse or they're character themed markers. So I had bought these markers to go with. It wasn't a coloring book, but anyway, it was a markers Amazon wanted this compliance from. Mm-hmm. And so I called Dollar Tree Corporate, assuming they would have them. They won't give them to you. On the back of the marker package, it had the manufacturer, which I think was Bendon. Bendon makes a lot of coloring books and things like that for kids. And when I got a hold of Bendon, they sent it right over, no questions asked. So sometimes that's just an easy way to get them.
I had, yeah, I just called. I've called before and had them email me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't ever quite lie, but I may not be fully truthful on what I'm doing. But I called and talked to, you just call the front desk, usually get some sort of reception. You say, I'm trying to find compliance paperwork for, this item that I bought for my store. And they'll usually send you to whoever that department is. And then I say, I'm looking for these types of compliance paperwork. Is it available on your website, or would you be able to email it to me? They're like, oh yeah, we can email it to you. And then I have a dummy email. I don't give them my Amazon business email. And I certainly don't.
Yeah, generally you just want to
I have an
contact the company that makes that is the distributor of the toys, and you can request, the compliance manager of that company when you call them to ask. I know that I had a magnet product that Amazon now requires safety documents for magnets, different magnet products. And I had to get that information from the Chinese factory that actually is the maker of the magnets for the company I was buying them from. And I thought, oh, that's great to know, because now I know what factory makes these if I ever want to get something made similar but not identical to.
I used to do quite a bit of condoms and sexual wellness stuff before the price went up to the roof. But I actually know the lab and
Before the
stuff.
prices went up.
Shut up, Tina. Don't do that. But they're not anyhow. It was such a cluster. But I actually got a hold of the lab person and became friends with the person at the lab, and they would send me whatever records I wanted, which was awesome. Long ago, back in the days. This one kind of, I don't want to say ticks me off, because y'all can post whatever you want on YouTube, and you can ask away and whatnot. But this person says, my application keeps getting rejected and declined. To get approved, you can help me, please. I tried and applied 6 times. This is for ungating. And then he writes, kind of in a hurry. I'm sorry, but you're kind of in a hurry is not my problem. I'm kind of in a hurry with things that I got to do. So just writing a simple message on my YouTube channel that I need help, but I'm not going to tell you any of the particulars, and please hurry up and help me, is not a good way for me to help you. It's an emergency on, what is it? An emergency on your part lack of planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. And what are you in a hurry for ungating? What, did you buy a bunch of product and not get ungated first? That's your bad, not my bad. If you want to get ungated for stuff, you should get ungated first and then sell the product, not buy the product and then try to get ungated. That one, I don't know. And you tried 6 times. Well, something is not right. So what are you trying with? I don't know. I don't know how to help you because I don't know. So you need to put more information in your thing. Or I always tell people my email, you know where to find us on Fiverr. We've got a website. We've got Facebook. Like random people and their thoughts. There's lots of different videos out there on how to get ungated, though. So something is not right for you, and you've got to figure that out. If you don't want to pay for help, then you got to figure it out yourself. That's your, like, taxes. I'm doing my own taxes this year. So guess what? I can't just message a CPA and be like, can you give me unpaid advice directly with my taxes? No, I got to go Google that stuff. Come on. Amazon is not a business for you if you do not know how to problem solve. What is it? Millennial Mom says you got to keep applying. Don't give up. Yeah. Do you have anything to add to that, Miss Tina?
Nope. Other than, especially when I'm giving you free help and you're telling me to hurry up because you're and when I'm helping you for free, don't tell me to hurry up because that'll make me go slower. It's kind of like when someone tailgates me, it just makes me want to drive slower. Why? I
get hit up on Fiverr all the time. Could you just help me? I'm really low income. I'm a student. I'm a starving person that's homeless on the corner. I don't know. I get all sorts of weird stories on how bad your life is. And I'm like, I am on every Friday. I will answer whatever question you have during that time because then I make a bit of residual income off of the advertising and whatnot. So that's how this is paying for my time. So you have the ability to ask, and that's with any guru on YouTube. Catch them live and ask your question. That's how you can get free advice. So feel free to hit me up there, but I can't just go and help everybody for free all the time because I have to eat too, people. I have bills. I got bills I got to pay as well. Chris, I think we hit it.
No, I picked it at the same time. Yeah, because I agree. People start accounts watching gurus and then they're surprised that they need invoices and receipts. Don't work for gating. That is so true. And it's like, and we preach that all the time here, that you have to have a valid invoice from an authorized distributor. And I've had people hire me for help that just don't understand why Amazon isn't accepting the receipt, because that's what they were told on YouTube. And I thought, who is saying this on YouTube? Like, why are they giving such misinformation?
Well, and go and look at several videos and several things. Like, don't give it 10 minutes of your time and think you know what's going on. That's not how this works. It's a lot of research and a lot of, like, when I don't know something, I don't just go to one source and be like, oh, that's the source of truth right there. You go to several, and that's for anything, like anything.
Yeah, because sometimes there's not one right way. There can be many right ways.
Exactly.
You just have to find somebody that resonates with your way of thinking.
And I'm sorry, even if I ask Tina, who I trust with my life, I still am going to go like verify. If she says, oh, buy this product or this is a good website or that's a good source, whatever, I'm still going to go and kind of look around. And that's not that's not any badness on Tina or whoever it might be. That's just, I would expect her to do the same. If I tell her, oh, Tina, this is a great buy, I would expect her to look as well to make sure, because I'm not perfect. And we all make mistakes, or new things come out. So, what she told me 3 weeks ago might be different than today. If you told me this awesome Valentine's Day gift, well, now I've kind of missed the boat. So it's not awesome anymore. Time factors in. That was definitely men. I get it more from men than women for sure. But I did get one lady who, oh my God, she kept hitting me up on Fiverr and back and forth. And then she writes paragraphs to me about how this other YouTuber, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't care. If you want to tell me how, I'm like, are you that YouTuber? Like, do you need me to follow you? Like, what are you getting at here? I don't know. I get a lot of strange things. And it's almost the summertime, which means it's drop your pants around my area of time. I don't know. I've told you about that, how I have
the naked guy in the street on your way.
Yeah, I get naked people. And the weather's almost there, guys. It's almost time. And I don't know why. My husband's like, how do you keep seeing quite so much out there? And I'm just driving on the road.
Yeah, I remember the one time when you were in the car and you took a picture of the guy and sent it to me, and you're like, yes, this is my morning. Like, I'm not making this stuff up.
I'm not making it up.
There he was, naked as a jaybird out in the street.
Just interesting times here. Interesting times. All right, this next one is on the Amazon seller account. There are 3 addresses. This is business, legal, official, registered. Which address needs to be on the invoice? I'm going to go with business, and that's the one I would put. Does it matter? As long as the addresses match up to your account, you're good, because I've fluctuated between my mom's address, my address, and my warehouse address. Any insight there?
Yeah, I have 2 addresses associated with my Amazon account, and I have used both of those addresses on different invoices for ungating purposes, and even proving that I have bought authentic products. So any address that is associated with your Amazon account is acceptable. I do think even sometimes it doesn't matter if your name is on it, because I have used invoices where I have done joint purchases with somebody else and their name ended up on my invoice, but with my address. and it still worked. So it should be at least one of the addresses associated with your account. Bottom line, though.
Yeah. And I don't think it truly matters, but if you're just like, oh, I got to put in something, put in your where it's going to be delivered at on your business. Yeah. Foab, I mentioned that I no longer use Be Cool. Why did you leave them, and what repricer are you using? I am not using a repricer because I am now almost all private label bundles. I do not do a whole lot of replens. And so I am not against Be Cool. If I were to sign up again, I would use Be Cool. I am curious. I am watching with my third eye on what Inventory Lab comes out with, because they gave an email. It was either late last night or this morning, something about how they are working on integrating a repricer within Be Cool, because 3 Colts is going to own everything one of these days and be the master of every software we play around with. I am not, and if I had to sign up again, I would use Be Cool. So I still have my affiliate link with them, and I still recommend them. They are an amazing company. And not so much, I mean, their integration works great, the repricing works great, but also their customer service. Samuel has always done me good. In fact, I think he sent me a Christmas card or a Christmas email this year.
Wow. I've never gotten anything from Samuel. Wow.
I've known him for years, though. I've known him for years. So he's a really just genuine, nice guy.
He is very nice.
And his people have always, if I've had an issue, they've gotten back to me within a really nice period of time, within a day or so on getting my questions answered. And it was like they really answered the question. I have a case going right now with Fiverr, and they keep giving me some runaround that doesn't answer the question. Same with Amazon. I have a case going around with Amazon right now that my flat file is not working, and I'm trying to do a hard delete with a listing loader, and it's not working. And they're like, send us a screenshot of the error. You need to do da-da-da. I'm like, that's what I just said. I really just said I did all this and it didn't work. And you're like, try all that. So I just got canned responses. But Be Cool has always been amazing on their customer service side. Millennial Mom, can you explain the part of Amazon's bundle policy where it says do not include generic products in the bundle as it may mislead? I'll have to pull it up. So I will pull that up in just a minute. Let's get a different question on here. We'll circle back to you because I have to pull up the policy. I might, if I can't do it within the next 5 minutes, then I'll.
Well, I know. She's in the bundle group, and I made a video on that on all the topics she's asked today, specifically in bundles. And today I will be doing live not a live in the group, but for those that just want to join, kind of like one-on-one. But I can say that when you are where it says do not include generic products in a bundle as it may mislead customers into thinking the generic belongs to the same brand, you can do that. And Amazon's policy, I think they still use like Kodak Easy Share camera, bundled with or compatible with. You're supposed to use that in your title. And if your bundles are varieties of brands,
Sorry,
I said something.
No, I'm growling.
You're not listing it under the brand name of, let's say, Hershey. You're not doing Hershey candy, Easter bunny, Hershey candy, Easter eggs, and then some generic non-Hershey chocolate. That it really depends on the type of bundle that you're making. If you're making a Easter basket, that's a generic plastic basket, some generic eggs with a Hershey Easter bunny in it, and maybe some Brock's jelly beans. That's not a problem on Amazon because you're not creating your bundle under the brand name Brock's or even Hershey. It's a custom bundled product. So I don't know if that answer makes sense.
I'm pulling.
Oh, you're pulling up the policy. I know that I have a link of it on the sheet, but.
Okay, I think I can share, but I haven't read through because I just brought it up. Okay. Bundles must consist of items that are complementary. Do not include generic products in a bundle, as it may mislead into thinking the generic product belongs to the same brand as one of the branded products. So that's the line right there. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th bullet point. Bundle can be composed of different brand items. However, the bundle should be branded according to the highest priced item in the bundle. So that's the policy right there, written, and it's good. We ought to put it. I'll put it on the bundle sheet later so that everybody can kind of get to it. And it's the policies. So if you were going to do this cup and it's a Yeti, and you were going to put a Yeti cup with, let's say, one little tiny coffee pod, you would not want to brand this bundle as your own brand because the highest dollar item is the Yeti.
And it would be Yeti cup bundled with generic coffee pod, let's say in this instance.
But sometimes they will yell at you for putting Yeti in the title. So it's like
unless you have
this is why we have the bundle group, guys.
Yeah, unless you have approval to do Yeti. Now, in the past, you didn't need such approvals, and nowadays you do need those approvals.
Yep. Did I mention on here? I don't remember if I mentioned it live, but I passed my audit with the state.
You did. Well, I don't know if you mentioned it live, but yes, I knew.
I know you knew, but I was talking with my friend last night. She's like, "Oh, did you pass?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I didn't call her." There was a couple people that were integral with that part, but yeah, the auditor came, spent 3 hours looking through all my stuff. Didn't really understand Amazon when she came. Understands Amazon now. Passed my audit. I don't owe any money, and in fact, it looks like I left about $800 on the table for the last 4 years because there was some credit tax that I didn't know about. So I was like, "Whew." One issue down. I'm so happy that I got that all straightened out. All right. This next one is somebody saying that when you change manufacturer barcode between manufacturer and Amazon barcode, it didn't work. You know why? I'm going to guess because you don't, again, I get like blurps of your world and I don't know all the ins and outs to give you a reliable answer, but it's probably because you have items in stock. So if I send this cup in, and I send it in under manufacturer barcode or Amazon barcode, doesn't matter, and I send product in, I can't change it then. I have to sell out, and then I can change it. So if you have in stock, you can't just change the barcode policy. Thank you, Millennial Mom, because you always dot your I's and cross your T's. Yep, I do. And it was so hilarious. She comes in, and I got all my boxes lined up for her out there. And I'm like, here's all the boxes for the 4 years you're looking at. And she's like, yeah, I'm just going to log every receipt. And I said, how long are you here for? We're for 3 hours. I said, you're not going to log every receipt. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, there's hundreds of receipts. There's no way you're going to enter them all into the computer because it took like 80 hours for me to do it. There's no way you're that good. She was like, oh, well, do you have that summary sheet? Yep, I got the summary sheet. She was like, well, then I'll just spot check. Yeah, let's just spot check. And she was legally blind, which was interesting. She showed up on the bus and she had glasses this big and her screen was like so blown up. I don't know how she does that.
Super challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting, but good for her that she's doing, I guess, what she loves. I don't know what your options are if you're legally blind job wise. That's interesting. I go to the eye doctor at 3. I'm blind, but not as blind as her. Made me feel kind of good because I can see things she couldn't. And usually I'm the blindest person in the room. Can we return stock within the 30 days windows once we have approved granted in the category brand? Oh.
And I think this question, like somebody bought inventory, used their invoice to get ungated. And so now that it's at the 30-day return window, they want to return it back to the store.
And what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on is that's very rude. And that's why stores don't like resellers. So do I do some returns at stores during Q4 of items I've bought to resell? Sure. Do I make a habit of it? No. Do I go in and return 80 items or whatever? No. If I bought something for ungating, I never return that. Never. To me, that's the cost of doing business to get the ungating. And not only that, it keeps those stores being reseller friendly, knowing that we are using them to get ungated. And so, if sellers make it a habit of doing that, they're going to shut all of us out. So no, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's count it as a cost of doing business. If you pay even $100 to get ungated for something like Nike, which you can totally do, just count that as a cost of business. You're going to write it off. And then whatever that is, if you bought armbands or whatever, make a bundle out of it, sell it on eBay, give it away for Christmas.
I remember when you and I bought those Squishmallows that we bought a few years ago to get ungated in Squishmallow. I think we lost 50 cents a sale. We knew we knew we were going to lose, but we still sent them into Amazon FBA because we wanted to get back most of the money that we spent on them, knowing I was going to lose less than $1 on each one. I was okay with that because I got ungated in Squishmallows, which was going to make me a ton of money moving forward. It's a business expense. Don't return it.
Yeah, don't return it. It's kind of like when we get returns from people that have, bought whatever, a pair of shoes, and then they return their nasty old sneakers, and they clearly did a switcheroo on us. That's kind of what you're doing. It's just not nice. And I don't know what everybody's religion out is there, but I believe in, some people call it the golden rule, but whatever. Be nice to others because of karma, because of your religion, because of, it's just a good thing to do. You got to kind of just be nice out there. Don't do that to the pool, because then it just ruins it for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We've got a tax question. Thoughts on being an S Corp? Seems like everybody wants to be one, but nobody wants to make the extra steps to be compliant since there's extra requirements. That is if you make more than a particular point, then S Corps make more sense than not. So that is something you got to talk to your CPA around. It's going to be different for everybody and what your business is doing and what it incorporates, etc. So that's like not a good question for here. We don't have an answer for you. There's no better. It's again like, what do you want? It's kind of like saying, what's better for lunch, a chicken sandwich or a hamburger? Well, what do you like hamburgers more? Do you like chicken sandwiches more? What's the cholesterol, the price, that? I don't know which one's better for you. That's a you question. Tax time is stressful. All right. This one is kind of interesting. I wanted to bring it up, even though we've talked about Bath & Body Works. I think it applies to a lot of other brands. I have been selling Bath & Body Works on Amazon since 2016. Suddenly, 3 weeks ago, they want this for all 1,568 of my listings. That's a lot of Bath & Body Works listings.
Yes, it is. That is a lot.
You have provided order confirmation. We are unable to accept retail receipts, online order confirmations, packing slips, sales orders, pro forma invoices, or sale quotes for approval. Please provide an invoice from a manufacturer, distributor, or your supplier that reflects itemized list of the goods that you bought. Any advice? Go into your Bath & Body Works account, print a PDF, all of your sales receipts, invoices there, and submit that. That's the only option you have. Do not Photoshop anything. Do not give packing slips, etc.
Yeah, definitely don't confuse a packing slip with an invoice.
Yeah. And directly from the you're providing an invoice or receipt directly from the manufacturer. That's the only thing that you can do, and it should work. Nothing's a guarantee, but that is what you would need to do. 50K is what your CPA said. Oh, okay. That's good for you. Mine is different. Funny. I just spent $220 on Nike ungating and make that money back on the products, backpacks I got on sale. Sold one, already made $4.
Nice. Those are nice when you buy the thing for ungating and it is a profitable find. I mean, that's always the best. Always the best.
I look for, when I'm looking for ungating, I'm looking for cheapest and easiest. Mm-hmm. If you have the time, look for something that makes profit. If you can find it, awesome. But a lot of times it's hard to find things that are profitable and give you a good invoice and meet the requirements. There's a lot of things that go in there.
Yeah.
All right, I got one last question here. So get your questions in then now.
Yeah, because I'll be jumping off in like 1 minute because I
1
have
minute. Oh my God.
1 minute.
One question,
minute.
Tina.
I mean, you can stay on, but I'm out because I got my lesson. I got a lesson.
You gotta get learned up. Okay, one question. When you ship shirts of the same color but different sizes and quantities, for example, 3 mediums, 3 extra larges, etc., do you individually polybag them and then later group 3 mediums together and put them in a polybag to keep them separate from the others? Nope.
Just keep them individually polybagged, or else Amazon's going to get it and get confused and thinks it's a bundle or something. Yeah, don't do that.
Every shirt should go in its own bag, and then on the outside is your FBA label of your manufacturer, your Amazon, whatever label you're putting it on there is.
All right, I'm hopping out of here. So,
right. And we'll be back live with the bundle group later, right?
Yep.
Okay.
2:00 our time. Yeah.
Message me.
All right. Bye.
Message me, or I will forget. She going? She going. All right. So, any last questions here? I am just loading up my day, trying to figure out the heck's going on. And all of that. If you are in our bundle group, we will be going live when Tina tells me to. I don't know. It was something she said after lunch, or I want to say it's around lunchtime, our time, 11 or 12. So April, I don't know what time that is for you, because you said see you tonight. Okie dokie, everybody. I think that covers everything. I'm not seeing any other questions roll in. So thank you all for joining us today. Always nice to see you, Foab, Crystal, Millennial Mom, Lucas, JR, saw you in there as well, Reno. Karen, thank you guys for where for the bundle group in Facebook, because we stream live to the Facebook. And so if you want to catch it live, you log into Facebook and then you do it, you hit join there. And I'm not sure if I think she's doing a live hangout, which Facebook changed and I don't know how to do it. I've tried to do hangouts twice this last month and I can't figure out the buttons. They changed it. So I've got to get learned up on that today so that I can do that. It's kind of like it happens and I spend 20 minutes trying to figure it out. And then I'm like, screw it. And then I go do some packing or whatever, give up. But I got to get that figured out, because it used to be just a quick button and it was easy. And now I don't know what Facebook did. All right, guys, take care and have an awesome day.